So you know that the Warband sets from WizKids is maybe my favorite line of minis that they have. Lower level creatures who you almost always fight in groups. There is nothing better than running an encounter with goblins or bugbears or orcs or what have you, and having unique figures for each one, especially if you're trying to use as many different stat blocks as possible. Trying to track hit points on a bunch of clone minis is a pain in the butt. Well, WizKids is expanding the line, or maybe just tweaking it a little bit, starting with this set, Undead Armies Skeletons. And many thanks to them for sending it our way to review. I mean, Undead Armies is really just another way of saying warband, right? But at least we know what to expect going forward. Nothing has been announced as of this recording, but I'm expecting zombies, ghouls, ghosts, gas. I mean, there are more undead creatures in D&D than you can shake a holy symbol at. So let's see if we can do, if there's anything special right here as we start to look at our Undead Armies skeletons. Before we jump in, our sponsor Hit Point Press has something special for 2023. Along with their Big Bad Booklets, you can now pick up quarterly releases of their Field Guide to Floral Dragons, unusual and elusive dragons inspired by real-world plants and flowers. Each booklet will feature 4 unique dragons with field notes from adventurers who encounter them. They are beautifully illustrated by artist Kin Wald. You can learn more about them and sign up to receive their monthly booklets, which also include the Big Bads and a new adventure series, by using our links below or by visiting bigbads.com. We are starting out with a very standard human skeleton. If he looks familiar, it is because he's actually based on the art of the prototypical skeleton from the Monster Manual. Skeletons can arise from necromantic magic, of course, but can also be manifested naturally, and I use that term loosely. In areas steeped in death and evil, they have a CR of 1/4. And here's where things start getting interesting. This is labeled as an elf skeleton. Almost all the minis we get from WizKids, whether for D&D or Pathfinder or Starfinder, are based on existing art that the respective companies send over to WizKids. Most of the minis in this set are not, though. This skeleton, if it looks vaguely familiar, seems to be based on the female elf sorcerer premium mini from WizKids that came out in Wave 7 of that series. Here you can see them together. Take a gander at our Tiefling Skeleton. First of all, does that shield look as familiar to you as it does to me? We'll see why in just a moment. Now, there aren't different stat blocks for these skeletons, but if you'd like to create some, you can check out Chapter 9 of the Dungeon Master's Guide, which will walk you through the process. Now, this unfortunate tiefling is based on this mini, the Tiefling Battle Master from the Dungeon of the Mad Mage set, and the art that inspired him is actually from the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide. Next up, we have a Lizardfolk Skeleton. According to the DMG, you can make a stat block into a skeleton by adding 2 to Dex and subtracting 4 from Intelligence and Con. You can also make them vulnerable to bludgeoning, immune to poison and exhaustion, unable to be poisoned, give them dark vision out to 60 feet, and make them unable to speak, but able to understand the languages they knew in life. This very cool Lizardfolk Skeleton is based on this common Lizardfolk mini from the Fangs and Talons set. I love how the skeleton still has some of its scales left on it. Up next is a Gnome Skeleton carrying a gnarled old staff. Finding the original version of this one was a little bit tougher. It seems to be based on a variant figure of the Gnome Male Wizard premium figure from Wave 5. Most of the premium figures can also be bought as a set of 2 unpainted minis in the Nolzur's line, and the alternate sculpt matches up perfectly with this little poor skeleton here. If you're looking for a painted mini to stand in, I recommend this little one, the Rock Gnome Female Wizard, who was the very first mini in the very first Icons of the Realms booster box release, Tyranny of Dragons. Oh no, up next we have a Tabaxi Skeleton, though you could also probably get away with using it as another tiefling if you wanted to. So what I'm thinking about doing with this set is gathering up these original minis and making them into an unfortunate adventuring party that the PCs will meet early on. Then later in the campaign they'll come across the skeletal versions of them and hopefully make that connection that these are people that they once knew in life. The Tabaxi Skeleton is based on the female Tabaxi Rogue premium figure from Wave 3. We're ending not with another skeleton, but with a Skull Lord, basically an undead warlord from the Shadowfell, most popular in the Greyhawk setting. Skull Lords are CR 15 creatures, so not to be trifled with. You could use this figure as the boss, where the other included skeletons are the minions. We did get 2 Skull Lord minis not so long ago in the Volos and Mordenkainen set, so I might have preferred another cool looking skeleton being in this slot, maybe like a dwarf or a dragonborn or an Aarakocra or a turtle or God forbid, maybe even a goblin. This set has what we've been asking for a long time. Skeletons of creatures other than humans, and they are absolutely wonderful. This is the best pack of minis WizKids has released in a while, and it makes me super excited to see what they do with the other entries in the Undead Armies line. We started to see hints of this back in the Boneyard booster set in 2021, which had a few diverse undead minis like a Goliath zombie and a Gnome Skeleton, and this just blows the doors wide open on that. I would love to hear if you are as excited about these as I am. Let me know in the comment section down below. Undead Army Skeleton is available now. Skeletons is available now for between 45 and 50 bucks, but as of this recording, they appear to be out of stock at a lot of online retailers, so you may need to shop around a little bit. I also want to hear what undead creatures you want to see them tackle next. I'm honestly a little bit curious to see what they do with ghosts. Also, don't forget to check out the Field Guide to Floral Dragons by our sponsor Hit Point Press using the links below the video here. And you can pick yourself up some Kobold plushies at koboldplush.com. Come chat with us on Discord, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, and Mastodon. And you can help us out by subscribing to the channel here and leaving us a like on the videos that you enjoyed. For now, though, stay safe, have fun, love each other, and I will see you next time at the Gallant Goblin.